You know how you can't judge a book by its cover? Or how you can see a really pretty face or a really handsome guy, but you still don't know if that person has a good heart. They could actually be the devil in disguise. You know how that is, right? Like, we can't look at people from the outside and tell if they're good or evil. People can seem mannerable, polite, and nice, and be the sneakiest, slimiest, and most dirtiest snake ever. I can't tell either from looking at a person how that person truly is. I mean, I could use the spirit of discernment if God blesses me with that. But I'm saying as far as like looks, like as soon as you see the person, or if they want to pretend and they want to play and they want to act, how do you know? Well, let me tell you a story. And it's a true story. One particular day, this is when I was living at this ruined house. One particular day, I'm laying down and I'm saying my prayers. And I'm talking to God. I said, God, you know what? I'm so tired of people fooling me. Of people, well, not fooling me, but not knowing people for who they really are on the inside. Not being able to tell if they're good or if they're evil, if they're wicked, if they're up to no good. I really want to know how they truly are in an instant, rather than having to get to know them or spending time around them or watching them. You know, rather than using the spirit of discernment, I want to know like right off. So I said that prayer and I went to sleep. The next morning I got up and I had errands that I needed to run. So I get dressed, leave out, and when I left out, there was no guys on the porch like usual. Nobody was sitting on the porch, and I was grateful, thankful for that. Went ahead, I haven't driven at this time in quite a while, so I had to catch the bus. So I get to the bus stop just in time to catch the bus. I jump on. I don't really look at anybody. I jump on, pull my money out, and put my change inside of the coin slot, take my seat. Get a window seat. I'm looking out of the window as the bus is going on down the road. So I'm looking out of this window, and I happen to see two young ladies standing outside talking to one another. And they're attractive young ladies. You know, they're smiling and talking and laughing, you know, as the bus passes, I'm watching. And suddenly, one of the girls' faces changes. And it was the weirdest thing. Like, her face just changed, like, switched, like, no lie. Like a monster or something. Like, she didn't even look the same anymore. Like, and it scared me. It took me aback a little bit. I'm like, I had to blink quite a few times. I'm like, what was that? So the bus continues to pass on by these young women, and we go on. So we continue to go down this road. It's early in the morning. There's not too many people, you know, like hanging out or walking around during this time, you know. But the bus passes by another gentleman. He has a box in his hand, and he's carrying his box to his truck. So as he's walking, I'm looking at him, and you know how you just go off into thought, you know, while you're looking at people and just, you know, just thinking. So while I'm looking at this man, his face, he seems to be a nice older gentleman, and I'm thinking, oh, he seems to be nice, and he's probably married, and his face changes too. So I'm like, what happened? Like, his face just changed, like turned into, again, like huge eyes, huge black eyes, bulging facial expression, distorted. It looks very distorted looking. It was, again, kind of creepy. So I shake off what I have just seen as you know, like, maybe I'm just a little bit sleepy, you know, it is early. I kind of went to sleep kind of late last night. So maybe I'm just like really, really tired and sleepy. You know, that's what I brushed it off as. Like, yeah, I must be really tired. So we pull into the Walmart. That's where I headed up. We pull into the Walmart shopping plaza. And, you know, there are people everywhere. Walmart is always packed. And, you know, there are cars everywhere. There are people moving about. And I'm looking, and I'm seeing many faces switch up now. Now, I actually got to see one or two people's faces that did not change. into something weird and disgusting and scary. I actually saw like a lady, she looked like she could have been an angel. I saw a white aura around her. She looked sweet, she looked kind, she looked loving. And I actually wanted to just run over to her if I could, because I was seeing all these other people that looked scary and creepy, like their faces just changed. Like on the outside, there was one thing going on, but the more I looked at them, the longer I looked at them, the more I saw their true identity. God had given me that gift that I'd asked him for. Remember, I said the prayer the night before? I'd asked God to reveal to me people's true identity, to reveal to me their true selves without me having to be around them long, without me having to talk to them, without any of that. And he gave me that gift. By the time that bus let me out for me to go inside of Walmart, I was so creeped out. I didn't look at anybody. I kept my head down the whole time. I would not look at anybody. And so I thought I was going to go in, pick up what I needed to pick up a few groceries or whatever, and get up out of there. It didn't even work out like that. It is hard just to walk and look at your feet. It's very difficult. Yes, it is very difficult to just walk throughout a store and just keep your head down and look at your feet the whole time. Matter of fact, it's impossible. So let me tell you what happened. I made a U-turn, kept my head down the whole time, and I went back and sat at that bus stop, and I waited for that bus to return. Every hour they run in the country. Every hour. And, well, it's not really the country. Albany, Georgia is not really the country. But here, this is, I know in the city in New York, they run quite often. But here I had to wait for a whole hour. And look, I didn't mind it one bit. I just kept my head down the whole time. I didn't look at nobody who was sitting next to me. I didn't look at nobody who walked up. I just kept my ear out for that bus. And when they pulled up, I didn't want to see nobody's face no more. I'm telling you, it creeped me out so bad. These people look like demons. I am not lying. Like demonic figures. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you the God's honest truth here. They look like demonic figures. Like first you see the regular face, but then you see the real truth there. Yeah, I was so creeped out. I just decided not to take care of my business that particular day and put it off for another day, and I hurried back to the house. I didn't look at anybody who was sitting on that porch. If anybody was on the porch, I just kept my head down, hurried into the house, ran up to my room. So I get back to the room and house. I pray. I say, you know what, God? Wow, that was a lot. I say, God, I'm good with the spirit of discernment. I'm good. Thank you so much, Lord. Yeah, and that was it.